I'm looking for the part where they said that I claim that a couple women in tech belonged in the kitchen instead of in the IT industry. And this fucking reporter clipped what I said on Facebook, and he said he's gonna write a fucking article about it, claiming that I'm a misogynist. Yeah, it's okay, cigar. I'm sure somebody has it. I was talking about how this woman, Tarah Wheeler, she looks like Pennywise the clown. She married this guy that is a security expert, and she has no education in computer security. She has no education in IT in general. And she invented a company and left it on LinkedIn and said that it was up for 15 years, but it never existed when you look it up. And then she claimed that she got a bunch of certifications that when you actually call to check if they're real, they're not. She doesn't have real certifications. And she got a job at Symantec, and then she worked there for a little while and got fired. And then she had a couple other tech jobs that she eventually got let go for because she's just not technically competent. And now she like follows her husband around and she does this SJW shit where like they will just constantly create as much drama as possible. Like she claimed that some guy sexually assaulted her at DEF CON, and it never happened. It never happened. Like she went to a party and she left the room and came back and was like, "This guy assaulted me." They checked the cameras. She just stood in the hallway and came back. But she told the story, and then at the very bottom, she made sure to drop the link to buy her book on Amazon. And she had this book written called "Being a Woman in Tech," where she gives women tech advice on how to work in the IT industry. But here's the problem: she didn't write the book; she had a man ghostwrite it for her. So not only can she not even give her own perspective as a woman in tech, but she has to have a man write the book for her. So every time I talk with her, I fuck with her. And she goes out of her way to get myself and other people banned from different conventions, claiming that we're violating their code of conduct, which is really funny because before we let these bitches in there, we didn't need a code of conduct because we were just there to talk about exploits and share different things that we found. No, not when this bitch shows up. No, she immediately starts claiming that men are tearing her clothes off of her. Are you fucking kidding me? Men are tearing their clothes off. I'm gonna pull up a picture of this bitch so you can see this. You're gonna laugh when you see what she looks like because she claims that a man saw her and just upon sight lost his mind and proceeded to just latch on to her like an animal in heat. Look at that chin. She looks like fucking Pennywise the clown. And she's telling me that men, when they see her, just can't stop themselves? Are you kidding me? Look at that chin. Holy shit. So she's kind of a joke in the tech community. Everybody makes fun of her because she gets picked to judge capture the flag competitions and different pen testing competitions, and she's such an incompetent moron that she doesn't even know how to do it. She told people that she was training for the OSCP, which is an Offensive Security Certified Professional uh, little certificate you can get, and it comes with a cool little card and stuff. And it's really useful. It's actually becoming like a very well respected certification to get for being a pen tester. Usually they want a CISSP, which takes over 3 years to get, and then they want that. And she claims that she has it, but she doesn't, because when you call offensive security, they have no record of her ever passing the test. But yet she's giving people advice on how to pass it. It's hilarious. And then she hangs out with Snubs from Hack Five, and Snubs was somebody who I got into an argument with on Twitter, and I said, don't you feel it's a little bit disingenuous as a woman to lie about your position and lie about your education to get a job? And she said to me, and I quote, "Women shouldn't have to go to college because it's a waste of time. Also, women shouldn't have to get certifications to compete with men in a male dominated market because men are misogynists and because women have to work 10 times as hard as men, women shouldn't have to go to college or get certifications. Are you fucking kidding me? She thinks that because she's a woman, her and her friend don't have to go to college, don't have to get certifications, don't have to do anything that they're supposed to do. Are you kidding me? It's kind of like that Tumblr post that I saw a long time ago, where this idiot posted on Facebook about how people with a lack of education or understanding of a topic shouldn't be withheld from a job. And then the guy posted under her where he said, we're going to be cruising at 10 feet today as we're trying to land. Watch me completely tailspin out the plane and smash into the fucking terminal because I shouldn't need a pilot's license to be a pilot. But it didn't work too well for Snubs because when she said this, a bunch of women in tech got very annoyed at her and said that she was disgusting. And then she blocked me on Twitter and proceeded to do an 18 post tweet thread where she subtweeted me and complained about me, which I found hilarious because all it did was make women, hate her more. Yeah, let's zoom into the jaw. So her story for DEF CON is that she went out to get a beer. This one went out to get a beer, even though there was a bar in the fucking thing. She went out to the bathroom and to grab another beer. And when she was out at the bathroom, the hallways are really small in the hallway of this hotel. So she turned to the left so that a guy could walk past her. And she says, and I quote, "He set eyes upon her, and his eyes became almost animalistic when he saw her. And as she turned to the side, he slid his hand up her shirt and attempted to grab her chest. She then quickly shoved him away and then somehow managed to get into someone else's hotel room on the same floor, even though there are no hotel rooms on that floor. It's all suites for parties. So she ducks in, there's a bed, and on the bed is a 500-pound blue-haired she-beast who also was a feminist, which made her feel safe. So she goes, "Oh my God, I've just been sexually assaulted by a pervert in the hallway." When out of the bathroom, 3 gal pals of the lesbian SJW leaves the bathroom and says, "It's okay, we're here for you now." So then she peeked out the door, letting her chin flow in the air. And she looked out, and there was no sexist man in there. And then she proceeded to walk back a whole 10 feet to the other fucking room that she was in originally, protected by the 500-pound she-beast SJW with blue hair and the 3 other gal pals. And she said she felt so triumphant as she was walking down the hallway. And then she immediately got her boyfriend to get the event coordinator to get the security involved. And then she pointed out a random guy at the bar. And she said, "That man grabbed me. That man sexually harassed me. He grabbed my stomach and my chest. He put his hand up my shirt." So the security guard comes over to me and goes, "Can you come over here for a minute?" Now, at the time, one of my closest friends, who I've known for over 12 years, is literally right next to where this guy was drinking. This guy did not leave the bar the entire time she was gone. The entire time she was gone. He's sitting at the bar. He's getting ready to go to another convention meeting where they had like it was like a capture the flag thing. It was King of the Hill, Pwn the Box. It has different levels of virtualized servers that are set up and shit like that. And he was getting ready to do the nightly competition. He's pounding back shots. He has no idea who this fucking woman is. She points him out in the bar and says, "This man sexually assaulted me." The security guard comes over and goes, "I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I've been drinking here for the past hour and a half with my friends." And he looks behind and goes, "That one said I sexually assaulted her? With that fucking chin, I don't think so. Unless I need to crack a walnut, I'm not doing anything with her." To which she puts her hand over her mouth. She's absolutely horrified and she goes, oh my god, this man is a misogynist. He's a pig. And then she starts freaking out, and the guy's like, look, if you've been assaulted, seriously, should we call the cops? We'll call the cops right away. She goes, oh my god, this party is just full of people that are going to protect somebody that sexually assaulted me. I need to get out of here. I'm going to have a panic attack. And then her and her husband go over and they leave. And this is a legit thing that she posted the entire fucking story on her Facebook about, by the way. Just go back about a year and you'll find the story of when she was sexually assaulted at DEF CON. So her and her husband leave, and nothing is said. Never goes to the police. Never reports this to anybody. Never calls the hotel to get fucking footage or anything. They wind up checking the footage and they see that she just stood in the hallway with her hands on her hips for 10 minutes. The story never happened. And she waits a year and a half. A year and a half. And then she posts about it on fucking Facebook. And then at the very bottom, she goes, I don't know how I could have survived this, but I do know that no matter what these people try to do to tear me down, I will always be a strong woman in tech. Buy my book on Amazon. And then she posts the fucking link on Amazon to buy her shitty book. So now she sent in a cuck reporter who got into one of the private Facebook groups I'm in. And now he's writing this really gay thing about women being baselessly bullied at different cons. Hackers baselessly blame women and SJWs for the end of the DerbyCon security conference. Now, the reason why we blame them is because Tara and two of her ugly ass friends claim that they were sexually assaulted and they were also belittled because a man simply asked why they were there. There is a guy who is a security professional that works with Cisco. He walked up to a woman on Twitter that goes by Jessie Saurus Rex. Now, Jessie Saurus Rex is one of the most retarded people I've ever met in my life. She said that I'm not even kidding you. This came out of her mouth. That she XSS'd an SQL directory, and that she said hackers from Lizard Squad did an XSS attack on an SQL database and somehow got her phone number, and then hacked her phone number with the Lizard kids and bullied her off of Twitter. And while she's in the middle of explaining this, there is a man in the background who just yells out in the middle of the conference, shut the fuck up, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. To which she has a meltdown and just runs out of the convention. It was fucking hilarious. She's a moron. And then, it was her and two other people. And they claimed that she basically was belittled for being a woman. And they consistently claim this, that they're belittled for being a woman. But the problem is in IT, women are not belittled. They're not taken, they're not mistreated any other way other than a man. When it comes to the IT industry, it's about who you know and what educational background you have, what certifications you have, what education you have. That is what gets you in the door. That is what gets you a job. And women in the IT field, especially the most prominent, people, the influencers on social media, they don't have that. They don't have degrees in IT. They don't have an education in IT. They don't have a background in IT. They just show up and they're like, "Oh, I'm a girl. Because I'm a female, I should just get everything for free and I shouldn't have to work for it." But then you get women like Azeria, Now, Aziria is a fucking genius. She's an expert in embedded development. She's an expert in malware analysis. She's fucking awesome. I've talked to her in the past, and she has probably one of the hardest times in tech, and that is because she's not ugly. So for the longest time, uh, it's really funny. People actually thought that she was like a catfish for the longest time. They constantly said they would harass her on Twitter. They would harass her everywhere that she went. Anytime she put a paper out, they'd say that it's a guy trying to make money by trolling people and making it think that it's a girl. But she was actually real. This is a picture of Aziria. Absolute genius. Top of her field. Doesn't ask for a single fucking thing. Works her ass off, gives out constant fucking events that she shows up to. She does different proposals. She writes her own papers. She's a fucking genius. And she never asks for anything. She doesn't ask for special dispensation because she's a woman. Nothing. And I have a lot of respect for her because she's very fucking smart. A lot smarter than me. And, when it comes to embedded system development, we've talked a few times. She's very fucking smart. This is what a woman in IT should be. She doesn't beg people for handouts. She doesn't belittle people in the field. That is why I have respect for somebody like her. I don't have respect for somebody that looks like, Pennywise the Clown. I don't. And now I'm apparently I'm a terrible person because I said that people like them belong in mental institutions. I got messaged by a fucking reporter, Lorenzo Di Fabrizi from Motherboard, crying about me, saying that I was sexist and a terrible human being for what I said. Now, we were talking about how, the responses that they made in regards to men not belonging. Like my friend Ilwell, all he said, this is all he said. Why is Tara here if she doesn't have any interest in security? Because he said that she claimed that he was a sexist garbage piece of person and proceeded to get him banned from 4 different events for no reason other than she was friends with them. That was it. That was it. That's all he said. And then someone else said to fucking Snubs, why are you a tech blog writer when you don't write about tech? And she said, I'll have you know, excuse me. And she started freaking out on me too before she blocked me. She said, I'll have you know, I've invented my own Raspberry Pi boards. And I said, really? Because when I watched your video, it looked like a do-it-yourself that you bought on Amazon. That's not really impressive. A 10-year-old could do that. And I was like, and what does having a pumpkin picking day have to do with tech? You're a tech blog writer. Write about tech. And then she proceeded to tell me that she didn't need to explain it because she's done hundreds of videos about things like how to install Fortnite, how to use a do-it-yourself Raspberry Pi kit, how to download a VPN on your iPhone, and how to go pumpkin picking and have a fun day with a family that she doesn't have. Apparently, because you say something like that, and you're not even allowed to ask women in the tech field anymore what their qualifications are because they'll see it as you're slighting them or you're being sexist or you don't think they can do the job. If they can do the job and they're not a retard, they'll be able to answer the question. You ask them a simple fucking question, something technical or related to something that they're discussing, or applying for, and you just simply ask them the question. That is not sexist. That's not sexist. And you do something like that and they think you're sexist. And I don't think that's cool. I think if you're going to be a tech thought and you're going to make money off of virgins thinking that you're cool and that you're interested in computers and interested in security, then you should be treated like a tech thought. If you're not going to go and you're not going to get the education and the certifications so that you can stand toe to toe with somebody that's supposed to be a peer in the field, then fuck you. You don't belong there. And, that's not misogynistic. It's the truth. So the reporter messaged me and he said, "Hey Corey, I saw your comment on this group, and I see that you said, let's be real here. They don't belong anywhere near cons. They belong in mental wards. I'm so sick of seeing these wacko, attention-getting chicks freaking out over nothing at conventions, and it's always the really ugly ones that accuse people of sexually assaulting them, and then it turns out to be a nothing burger. Do you stand by this comment? It appears as if it could be offensive to women in the community and sexist." To which I was like, wow, why is this fucking dude like SJW and me on something I said in a private Facebook group with less than 60 people in it? And it's just security professionals that know each other and bullshit on Facebook. And he gets himself invited to a private group and he starts writing about things that people are saying in the group about people in the industry that are annoying. And I said, yeah, did you miss my comment after where I said I respected people like Azaria and a few of the other people that I listed? People that work tirelessly to promote security related topics and establish themselves in a male dominated market. I was like, they don't do things like Snubs and Tarah, which is promote themselves and lie about their skill sets. Tarah gives people advice on how to pass certifications she hasn't even passed, but yet she continues to give people advice about. Snubs said that women don't need to go to college nor gain certificates because they should just be given things because they're women. They do nothing but harass males and make up the stories about being harassed that no one ever corroborates. Then they put out a single person like Adrian or Ilmob or other people that I'm close with, including myself, simply because we ask what their qualifications are to sit there and turn their nose up and shit talk people in the field. I was like, I'm all for women in IT, but those kinds of people don't want to make anything better for women or for the community in general. They want to go out of their way to draw as much attention to themselves as possible, and in turn, they diminish the strides hardworking women in the field seem to make in this market. I was like, does that seem sexist to you? Because it seems like you're all about being an SJW until you turn around their behavior and the way that they treat men. I was like, you take Tara and Snubs, for example. Now, you slight them one time, they will go to a committee or whoever is running the convention. They will claim that you've been sexually harassing them on Twitter or social media with no proof, and you're instantly banned from the convention when you go to visit it. Does that seem fair to you? With no proof whatsoever, and they continue to do this. So I said, Tara wrote a book about being a woman in tech, and when you actually review her resume, Red Queen Industries doesn't exist, and it's never been a registered business in the United States or in England. She got a degree in hospitality and hotel management, and she's giving women advice on how to succeed in the tech market when she didn't even write the book. She had it ghostwritten. These people are absolute frauds and they do nothing but cause drama and make conventions something that people with any kind of strong opinion or value want to avoid. And I said, you can ask anybody in the tech industry. They're probably just too afraid to tell you this because they don't want to look like assholes. And, his response to that was to call me a misogynist in the media. That's what he's calling me. Me, the guy that he thinks is crazy and he was even scared to meet the first time we did an interview. He he's apparently trying to label me as a misogynist now. So it's a very very smart idea.